Hi, this is Tony at Casa Esmeralda, and I wanted to share with you on how I light my fire in my big Italian fireplace here in the Mediterranean, Adriatic. There's a hole in the very back corner of the fireplace. It's about this big. It's drilled in the wall, and that actually creates ventilation. So I don't really have any insulation in my house whatsoever. So right now outside it's 6 degrees Celsius, and at that temperature a house without insulation does not win at all. But this thing here, there's mass amounts of brick, like it's huge. This is a huge fireplace. Mass, it goes all the way to the ceiling, and it saves the heat, like it's warm like all night, so the house will stay anywhere about 15 to 20 degrees Celsius depending on the weather. So let's go and light my fire, and then I'll show you the results of today from the crawler tractor and what I was able to salvage down there. I cut down a pear tree last year, and a pear tree fell over last year, and so I cut it up in September, and I kind of left it there because the storms came and that, and I never got around to really hauling it up here because I didn't have a tractor. So I brought it up here today, but it got wet, and I just used, it was 2 large wheelbarrows, so I would guess about over 100 kilos, 120 kilos of pear and olive wood. So let's go light my fire. I wanted to share with you on this thing because I absolutely love this thing. If it was a little different style, if it was, more of the Austrian style, that would be nice. But this is how, because I have a lot of bushes on my property, and sometimes these bushes are like so big, so I just stick the whole bush in the big doors and burn it that way. So let's go light my fire. I get some strips here of cardboard, and I throw that in there. I got more strips. I just get more strips of firewood here. Strips. Make strips of cardboard like this here. And I find that strips works good. Just like that. I used to use paper, but I find that cardboard lasts a lot longer, right? So, there you go. Thank God I had my pellet stove, because the time I got up here, it's not pelting rain outside. Like the time I got up here after 4 p.m. today, it's this misty type of winter rain with the fog, so you get the heavy fog. And I just went out and I fed all the animals. I fed the goats again, I fed the chickens in winter time. They're eating a lot more. They're not outside their pens, their corrals, their coops a lot longer. So I feed them twice a day, and I feed them less than, so normally summertime I feed them once, and then they're sort of out in their pastures or their meadows like all day. And now I feed them twice a day. The chickens didn't get out today at all because it's just, and the dogs have been coming around here and stuff like that, so I didn't want to do it. They have like a Walmart here. It's like half an hour away, and it's like everything you ever need, but I only go there like once a month. And so these are the wood pellets, and I get like some of these wood pellets in there, just put it out. That'll get things started. And then I got in this cart here, I got 2-year-old and 1-year-old firewood. So this is the one from my root cellar, which I've been actually going a lot through. I thought I would have a couple months of firewood, and it's actually turned into like 1 month. Because I've been burning firewood here now for about every second day or almost every day for 2 months. So Well, last month it was like every couple of days. Now it's like turning into every day because of just the weather, the cold conditions are arriving. So I want to get all of these small sticks and everything. I want to get on the bottom. All different methods of lighting a fire. I don't really clean out this pit ever until it gets about a half a foot high, because this stays hot. Like all this rock in here and this ash, it'll stay hot through the night, and it'll be like hot sand. So it'll be giving off heat, and especially with the pellets. In the morning, the pellets will still be burning. So that's a nice thing. See, it just snaps. So and it's when it's dry and it snaps, that's really good. When this one here I brought up today, this is all wet. See how dark that is, and there's wet, but the inside core of this is dry. So if I leave this sitting here for about 3 days, then I can burn this. If I burn this now today, all I do is I'm going to get smoke in the house. It'll burn, like it'll start going. It'll take a lot of fuel. It'll take a lot of oil or something like that. I got some oil here. This one. This is this citronella oil from they use for lanterns, just in case. But it should start going here. When I first moved in here, it's taken me now like about 2 years to actually learn a lot about this fireplace. So, and the more and more I've used it, the more and more I've learned from it. So what you want to do, or what I do now, is that I just stack it all up with firewood, get a nice big pile, and then let it burn. And the heat that it will generate from the wood that you put in, from the big pile of wood, will save itself through all the bricks and this massive pile of stone here. So that one there. Probably save a few big ones, and then just before I go to sleep, I'll throw in 2 big logs, and then those will burn all the way through the night. I've done a video before on my fireplace, but this is one I wanted to share with today because I'm really happy with the crawler tractor. It's too bad that the weather changed on me when I was down there, and it started raining lately, and I was like, oh boy, you know, how long is this gonna last me? Came in the house, it was already all soaking wet. By the time I put the crawler tractor away, the trailer away, I got the wood in the house, unloaded the trailer, the chainsaw, all the garden tools, everything, the other hand saws and everything. And if I wouldn't have the pellet stove, which happened to me before, I would be forced to light a fire and sit here by the fire and possibly some wet clothes for a bit, or change the clothes, and hope for the best that I don't get hypothermia or something like that. And I'm really here on my own, so this only happened to me one time before when I didn't have the pellet stove and I lived here on a bicycle. So I got some fire starter here. I just kind of stick this in here in the bottom of the pile. I light it. It's one of these white fire bricks. There we go. So I got the fans already going in the house. because I got on my pellet stove, it's kind of nice. I got a tube going to the top, so it pumps out there. A tube pumps out hot air at the fan and it circulates. And my whole house is warm within an hour. My house is anywhere between 20 degrees and 25 degrees Celsius. But the price of pellets has really gone up. Anyways, I gotta open up a window because you want ventilation for a bit. Shut one door because it's kind of smoky. Sit here and kind of watch the fire for a bit. And when it gets really smoky, I'm going to shut one door. Kind of always, it's always the left door on this, and the smoke comes. And I got one window open now. So I always had a problem with that back window, and I put like insulation material in the window, everything. And actually what I did is I just put silicone around the whole window. So I silicone the window shut, and then afterwards, a year later, I took an X-Acto blade because I couldn't open it up, and I just cut along, very carefully cut along the silicone line, and then the window open was actually sealing shut. So saved me a big problem on the window. The window still leaks a little bit of air, a little cold air in, but that's all good. When you have a fireplace, you always need a little bit of ventilation and cold air in the house. So that's the positive end of things, is that having this big fireplace, you do need a lot of cold air and ventilation, cold air coming in the house. Because if you're burning this amount of wood, you're going to have a lot of carbon monoxide going off. So you do want to be safe that if you're sleeping or something like that. It's not going to smoke. Like, this wood does not smoke, but this wood does. Like, if I put this wood in now, and this is what I hauled up today, so in that trailer, which I'm really happy about, because this would take me a full day in the wheelbarrow. I would have to push it up the tractor road hill, at least a half day, anywhere from 3 to 4 or 5 hours. So this would be like 4 wheelbarrow rounds. So I would say like about 3-4 hours of work to push this up from where I had it and everything. So it was really nice just to drive the tractor down there and then pick up. Some of this wood was cut, some of it wasn't, so half of it wasn't cut, so I cut the other half. And now this is gonna last me about 2-3 days here, which is really nice. And there's a section of property there which I was able to get to now and load up the trailer, and it's a beautiful spot to do some planting in a garden, which will probably come around summertime. So oh, it's not smoking because I got the window open. So So as I said, I don't really need to make videos. It's already dark outside and it's 6 degrees Celsius, cold, drizzly, foggy. You can't see more than 20-25 meters in front of you, and miserable outside. So it's basically pretty simple. So what I want to do actually is I want to get this box in here. I want to get the heat going in my house, and that and these doors that Antonio friend made. I don't want to burn my fingers off, so I'm going to lock it, and then this thing will start going like crazy because it's going now already. So I just got to fix it a little bit and make sure I don't burn my hands here. And that's it. And you can hear the vacuum sound, like the buzzing sound in the background, and that's just the differential of the wind. So I got one of those turbines on top. So I learned a lot about this fireplace, and I got one of those turbines on the top of the house, and the turbine kind of one of those ventilation, and it forces cold air down into the chimney and it circulates it, so you get better circulation. So it's another positive. Before I had it, this thing smoked and everything, and I couldn't figure it out. And so now during the night, that pile of wood with the pellets, and maybe before I go to bed now or something like that, I'll add another pellet and the 2 logs, and this thing will be warm. I mean, if I cannot put my hand in an hour's time, I cannot put my hand on this because it's too hot, and it goes all the way up the chimney here. So this whole entire mass amount of brick and stone here, all this stone, all of it is hot, and then that radiates heat off during the night. So yeah, so that's how things go. I hope you like this video. I'm Tony at Casa Esmeralda. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my fire now on the log, do some wood organizing, organize this pile a little bit. But it's nice having a big fireplace like this because I use half the amount of fuel on my chainsaw, because I can stick these huge logs in the fireplace and not worry about it fitting in a little tiny stove or wood stove or something like that. So if you like my channel, hit that like button down there below. Please do like and subscribe. I hope to have more videos. I wanted to do a second video today on the tractor and everything and come up here with a pile of firewood in it, but it was just too cold and miserable to do that. So take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now, and have a great weekend and season's greetings. Happy Hanukkah to everyone out there or anybody celebrating around this time of year. Take care and bye for now.